Okay, iPhone Pro 15. Yay. Okay, we're moving on. God, who cares? All right. Let's get to some real news, okay? Kevin McCarthy is finally impeaching Joe Brandon. We've been waiting for this moment. Since Donald Trump got impeached, okay? That Republicans threatened the Democratic Party. They were like, "Oh, if you fucking impeach our guy, well, guess what? This is going to be hot potato impeachment time. We'll impeach your guy just as hard." And now they're finally doing it. Thank God. Okay, thank God.
The Speaker now. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
You know, in the months that we were gone and the weeks, House Republicans have uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption. Now, here's what we know so far. Through our investigations, we have found that President Biden did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings.
Wait, what? Like, are they gonna take him down on a technicality? I thought there was gonna be something better here. You know what I mean? I thought that they had something better going on. Like, what are they saying? Like that like Brandon. I love that they were like, Brandon actually 100% worked with Brandon Jr., Hunter Brandon, and was like getting kickbacks. And then when they were like, okay, maybe he didn't do that, there's not enough money. There is no money trail for this. Now they're just saying like, oh, well, he said he didn't know anything about his son's involvement with Burisma. And it's like, I don't get it. Like, yeah, his son worked for a Ukrainian company, and that's what they're trying to hit him on. It's just fucking weak nuts, dude.
Eyewitnesses have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls.
That's what they're impeaching him on? Dude, that's so stupid. Aw. I thought there was some better shit, dude. God damn it. This is a little bit of a bummer, I'm not gonna lie. This is a bit of a bummer. I thought that there was something a little bit better out here that could like genuinely create content, you know, some mystery, some intrigue, you know, and none of that is happening, and I don't like it. I don't like that at all. That like Hunter Biden called his fucking dad to like prove to the Burisma people that he actually has clout like that with the American government when Joe Brandon was the vice president and had no fucking clue what was going on. Like, and Hunter's like, everybody shut up. I'm calling my dad. I'll prove to you. Shh, don't say anything. Here, it's on speakerphone. Like, that's what they're hitting him with. To make matters worse, this was also, I think, happening like while Beau Biden, the non-fail son who died, had cancer. Which I feel like if you're the vice president or any other human being on the planet, you're probably picking up your phone calls from your son because one of them is dying. You know what I mean?
And had multiple interactions. Dinners resulted in cars and millions of dollars into his son's business partners. We know that bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates.
Oh, okay, I get it. They're saying, here's the counter to this, okay? If I'm a Democratic Party operative, here's what I'm saying. It seems like the modern day Republican Party, which is historically accurate as well. Like, the Republican Party has never cared about the American workers or even American businesses. Let's be real. But modern day Republican Party seemingly cares more about businesses overseas than they do about businesses in the United States of America. And the fact that they're using government resources in this callous, careless way is expected and yet still frustrating. Are we prosecuting the president? Or are we prosecuting on behalf of Hunter Biden possibly offering a bad deal to foreign nationals and companies run by foreign nationals? It's like, is the Republican Party in the pocket of Burisma and they are upset that Hunter Biden never actually had the genuine clout and influence over the American government, or his father that he claimed he had when he was getting a job? Are you the Better Business Bureau for Ukraine? Why do you care? Yeah, he fucking conned them. He conned the Ukrainian company Burisma into thinking that he had a lot more access than he actually did. He conned some other Chinese emissaries as well into believing that he had a lot more access than he did. Impeachment for having an immoral son, not even illegal. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? Are we expecting a return on the investment for Burisma? Is that what it is? It's like, well, Burisma invested millions of dollars into this guy, and he never actually ended up giving them anything. Okay? So what's the situation here? It's patriotic what Hunter Biden did. Okay? What Hunter Biden did is patriotic. Fucking over foreign oligarchs is a tried and true American tradition. Okay? Scamming the rest of the planet is what we do. We're Americans, goddammit. What's next? Are you going to prosecute Hunter Biden for owning a weapon, exercising his Second Amendment rights? What's next? Are you going to prosecute Hunter Biden for tax evasion? All tax is theft, I say. Taxation without representation should be illegal, and this goddamn government does not represent me, Hank Pecker, because they're teaching our children homosexual Marxism in schools. I ain't paying no goddamn taxes. And now, these gosh darn Republicans have dropped their principles on a dime. Talking about prosecuting an American citizen for exercising his Second Amendment rights, to protect the first, by the way, scamming foreign nationals, okay, out of their hard-earned dollars, and doing tax evasion. These are three of the things that I love doing as a gosh darn patriot. Remember when conservatives played a phone call of Joe Biden calling Hunter and being like, I want you to get better, son. I love you so much. Please get help, as a bad thing to do? Yeah.
Shale companies. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involving the Biden family and other business associates.
This is pretty funny because, no, it's not the Biden family. It's Hunter Biden. But Hunter Biden technically is a part of the Biden family. So they're doing this nifty little trick here to make it seem like it's the entire family that is like doing criminal misconduct, which unfortunately, due to no regulation in the United States of America for this kind of thing, nepotism and trading in your last name in this regard is like totally legal. Unfortunately, okay. They don't have any evidence, so they're just kind of doing the same thing that Tucker Carlson did the other day. Remember Tucker Carlson had Larry Sinclair on in that iconic interview that we watched when I was in Mexico. There was a point in that interview where Tucker Carlson played a trick, a rhetorical trick. He said, Larry Sinclair was endlessly persecuted for telling the truth, even though he took a lie detector test. And then he just kind of left it there because while lie detector tests are inadmissible in court and they're dog shit, he failed the lie detector test. But Tucker Carlson did not mention that he failed the lie detector test, simply that he took a lie detector test. He did that because he knows no one is going to fucking question it. No one's going to be like, wait a minute, he took a lie detector test? Let me take a look at what's going on there. Okay? So that's basically what the Republicans are doing after they conducted these investigations. They conducted these investigations. They concluded in those investigations, which they did in behind closed doors, for the record, just so they could technically massage the truth a little bit, that there is no paper trail that leads back from Hunter Biden to Joe Biden. But now Now, because there isn't conclusive evidence for this whatsoever, they're trying to impeach the president, and their inquiry revolves around just saying the Biden family got a lot of money. Okay?
Associates that were flagged as suspicious activity by U.S. banks. Even a trusted FBI informant has alleged a bribe to the Biden family. Biden used his official office to coordinate.
Every time they say the Biden family, they're talking about Hunter Biden. It's not like none of this has anything to do with Joe Brandon, as far as I know, as far as I've heard from them, because like this is one of these things where I don't care to know about what the fuck's going on, because like either way I win, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, Hunter Biden or Joe Biden is impeached. Great. That's awesome. Who gives a shit, right? I'm in it for the fun of it, right? But like having said that, I had to learn about this against my will. Okay? And everything that I learned is allowing me to understand exactly what Kevin McCarthy's saying here, which is that every single time he says the Biden family, that is a neat little rhetoric trick to avoid saying Hunter Biden, because this is not impeaching Hunter Biden. This is supposed to be an impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden, the big guy, Mr. Brandon himself. Let's go, Brandon. But they don't want to, they can't say Hunter Biden, so they're just saying the Biden family.
With Hunter Biden's business partners about Hunter's role in Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company. Finally, despite these serious allegations, it appears that the president's family has been offered special treatment by Biden's own administration. Treatment that not otherwise would have received if they were not related to the president. These are allegations of
allegations we've made, such as Joe Brandon offered uppies to Hunter and picked up his phone calls when his brother was dying of cancer. There might have even been a hug at a certain point. There might have been a hug. And when you're the vice president, you don't get to hug people. Okay? Actually, this is all prosecutable.
Of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption. And they warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives. That's why today I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. This logical next step will give our committees the full power to gather all the facts and answers for the American public. That's exactly what we want to know, the answers. I believe the president would want to answer these questions and allegations as well.
Joe Brandon, sons of fuck up. If that was illegal, my parents would have a life sentence. Yeah, exactly. Also, ironic because like if having a fail son is illegal, literally everyone in Congress is going to jail, because the richer you are, the higher the likelihood that you're going to have a fail son. And all of these fucking corrupt dipshits have fail sons and fail daughters. Like, literally, including Hillary Rodham Clinton, as a matter of fact.
This effort will be led by Chairman James Comey.
Marjorie Taylor Greene letting McCarthy hit it raw for this? No, she's not letting McCarthy hit it raw for that. She's letting McCarthy hit it raw for, better for a committee position.
At the Committee on Oversight, in coordination with
And also, I think she's doing it on her own volition. Like, that's the other thing. Like, she is a bit of a freak. This is something I stand by. Like, I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene is just like having sex with Kevin McCarthy specifically in a careerist, opportunist way. I think she's doing it because she loves fucking and sucking and cheating on whoever her significant other is at the time, which currently happens to be the Newsmax sicko. No, the Right Side Broadcasting Network sicko. I don't want your Congress fanfic. I mean, at a certain point, it's not fanfic. I think she definitely enjoys just like being in a polycule, but she can't do that because you can't be in a polycule openly and like run as a Republican. You know what I mean?
Chairman Jim Jordan for Judiciary Committee and Chairman Jason Smith on Ways and Means. Now, I do not make this decision lightly. And regardless of your party or who you voted for, these facts should concern all Americans. The American people deserve to know that the public offices are not for sale.
Oh, yes, the hallmark of a democratically popular decision, avoiding a House floor vote to begin the investigation because you can't pass it among your own House majority. I see nothing wrong with this. The House is not expected to vote on an impeachment inquiry, sources tell me. They will open the inquiry without a vote. This would have been a tough vote for House Republicans. McCarthy will announce this shortly at his news conference. You want to know something really funny about this, by the way? Not to be too much like a Trump guy. You know how like Trumpers always say like, oh, this investigation or this like, this new indictment is going to, you know, breathe fire into Donald Trump's campaign. But like, this does literally make Biden look vibrant. Okay? Like right now, what is Joe Brandon's biggest weakness? Okay? Ironically, not one that is even in consideration for Donald Trump, despite the fact that they have, 2 years between them? It's his age, that he's old, that he's a decrepit carcass. Anything that moves the conversation away from Joe Brandon being a decrepit carcass is unironically going to help him. Okay? So if the conversation revolves around the media being like, these guys are just attacking Joe Brandon falsely. They're criticizing him for having a fail son. Having a fail son is not illegal. You know what I mean? All this shit completely moves away the conversation from the one fucking major weakness that he has. A weakness that is so apparent. A weakness that is so apparent that like you're seeing him suffering internally in his own party. Like there was no appetite for Brandon to run again. That's your hope, but the polls say otherwise? What do you mean, my hope? My hope is what? You think polls are saying that Brandon is a solid candidate? What polls? Literally leading up, like until a couple months back, 75% of the Democratic Party's voters said they don't think Brandon should run again. Every single poll so far has shown. A lot of people think he's old as fuck. He's a husk. Wait, what? I'm going to die. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't. Why do I speak? Why do I use language? Why do I explain myself literally every single fucking day for 8 hours when motherfuckers will come in here, okay? Motherfuckers will come in here and repeat exactly what I said while I'm saying it and then turn around and say it in a contentious manner like they're actually fucking debating me on it. What the hell is going on? You just repeated what I'm saying. That chatter was right. This would be an hour stream if you never repeated yourself. Yeah, I mean, actually, I think what he meant is that the impeachment is not good for Biden. No, I do think that because he's an old-ass husk, anything that moves the conversation, anything that shifts the conversation away from Brandon being an old-ass husk who is not exactly electable is going to yield positive results for him. Because that is universally his biggest weakness right now. This happened, yeah, the Bill Clinton effect. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's going to shift that convo is what I'm saying. I mean, it has happened in the past, so we'll see.
And that the federal government is not being used to cover up the actions of a politically associated family. Now, I would encourage the president and his team to fully cooperate with this investigation in the interests of transparency. We are committed to getting the answer.
Oh my God. This New York Times pitch bot take with another incredible banger. At age 78, when he took office in 2021, Joe Biden was too old to be an effective president. Donald Trump will make an excellent president when he takes office at age 78 in 2025. Now, this is a really good account that does like New York Times pitch bot parodies to make fun of the New York Times. But the reason why I clicked on it is not to show you this funny little goof and gaff. It's to show you that blue check marks are literally so fucking stupid. Okay? In any other structure, they would be put down. Okay? Like if things were like 3 to 4% different throughout history, like we would be culling the blue check marks. Okay? And I don't even mean like literally culling them, physically, culling them. I mean like they would just die on their own because they would forget to fucking breathe, okay? Like, how are you this stupid? How can you be physically this dumb that you forget that at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break and you can avoid it by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime? How? Don't be like a blue check mark. Subscribe now. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. You're against safety regs that keep these people alive? Yes, I've decided. No, but for real. Bro, this is satire, says Orwell's Ghost. He says, not entirely. Read it more. I stopped following it. I don't know how. Maybe science has improved too much. Maybe medicine is too good, okay? Maybe some people need to brave the elements and not survive. You know what I mean? Hello, Hassan. Question for you. Do you think New York City has a migrant issue? And if there is an issue, what do you think the solution is? I think as of right now, I feel like the city can't continue letting migrants in. I think New York City is at a breaking point. Please, education on what the solution is. Thank you, Smile. Wow. Thank you for the incredible comment. That certainly wasn't in any way, shape, or form biased. No, I do not think that New York City has a migrant issue, despite the fact that the southern states, which get federal funding to appropriately and humanely allow legal asylum seekers in and process them in the United States, are just now shipping them off to New York City. But even then, no, I do not believe that New York City has a migrant issue. What a ridiculous thing to say. It is one of the most diverse cities on the planet. It is built and designed specifically around migrant intake. The solution is money, getting federal help. This, in any other circumstance, would be a major W for the Brandon administration. Okay? We are drowning in migrants. We're drowning in it. Yeah, Italians. That's right. Literally the most cosmopolitan city on the planet. Okay? If the Brandon administration was a little bit smarter, they would utilize this opportunity to be like, every single refugee and asylum seeker that's legally in this country was unjustifiably sent to New York City without adequate processing, which states like Texas and other southern states get federal funding for. Due to this unjustifiable crime that they've engaged in, I'm taking away their funds and resources for this kind of processing that they are supposed to be utilizing in these states, okay? And on top of that, taking additional federal funds from these states, like Texas, and giving it to New York State so that they can implement these measures instead. We have also set up work permit programs, and this is a major success for New York. Federal funds. Okay, shut up. Yeah. Defunding Texas, prosecuting the attorney general, or not attorney general, they're doing that already, sorry. Prosecuting the governor. Okay, this is a very bad take from you. Oh my God, clandestiny, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, dude. I thought you were joking, and it turns out you're not joking. Okay, this is a very bad take from you. This isn't just a money issue, it's a space issue. We have a housing crisis, not enough apartments for residents. I support migrants, but acting like this isn't an issue is wild. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, the greater New York area is ginormous. Okay? Second of all, housing is a major issue in New York City, specifically not only just in Manhattan, but in general across the board in New York City. What do you call the greater New York area? 5 boroughs and then some. New York State is massive. There are also thousands of apartments that have been warehoused. I'm literally just super naive, just trying to get educated on the issue. Thank you for responding. Don't worry. You probably are a much nicer person than Clandestiny, who just literally said that, no, we don't have any space. We've ran out of space. We have the space. We just don't have the money. No, we have the money as well. It's just not being implemented. Because you haven't made up your mind, it seems. That other chatter has. 90,000 vacant apartments in New York City. Yeah, that in and of itself is what is called warehousing. Okay? But even that alone, I mean, that's a gigantic number is what you would think, but it's not necessarily a gigantic number when you think about how large New York City is. Okay? It's still massive. But what you're and these are just the rent stabilized apartments last year. They warehouse, this is just the rent stabilized apartments. A lot of landlords know that they can sit out and eat some level of the cost, so they can use that depreciating asset against their taxes, and warehouse rent stabilized apartments, and not put them up, or at least put them up with like insane erroneous fees that make it impossible for someone who would be seeking rent stabilized apartments to actually go and get the to get inside of the rent stabilized apartments. They aren't state-owned apartments, then fucking buy them. Those are luxury apartments? No, they're not. No, these are not luxury apartments. These are rent-regulated apartments across the board. Some of these are old apartments, as a matter of fact, waiting to be renovated, trying to make sure that every single fucking tenant is kicked out so that they can break it down and rebuild them as luxury apartments. I said luxury apartments, yeah, in 1932, exactly. You want the city to buy the apartments? The federal government and the state government could do so many things if they wanted to. Okay? So many fucking things if they wanted to. One of the things they could do is eminent domain. If you do not utilize, if we have rent stabilization, okay, which we put in place specifically so that some of these rent costs are at least easily affordable for the average person to live in the fucking city. And then the coalition of landlords respond in this way, they're violating the law. It's up to the government to literally do whatever they want at that point. They're like, oh, well, this is a thing that we put in place, and you are rule breaking. You are utilizing pre-existing regulation that we put in place specifically to to fix a problem, you're making the problem worse. Therefore, I've decided that the fine is either going to make it unmanageable for you to warehouse these apartments, or I'm just going to take it, eminent domain. Now, obviously, that will never happen because the real estate industry is entirely too powerful and also has a very good way of communicating any kind of restriction on that regard as communism, socialism, / very bad for the average owner of an apartment. Okay, the average owner of a house, which, you know, there's still plenty of voters that own houses and whatnot, and they could very easily cut propaganda against the Democratic Party across the board. Okay, they could very easily use this as propaganda across the board, where like people in fucking Mississippi think that like the government's going to do it for them in a similar capacity because they own a fucking hovel in West Virginia or Mississippi. It's the same principle behind the death tax, right? Estate taxes are fairly reasonable in this country. And Republicans are very good at cutting propaganda against estate taxes to make it seem like, oh no, the government's going to come after you when you die too. You won't be able to pass on anything to your children. When the cutoff for, or the bottom for the estate tax is so high across the board in the United States of America that the new provisions for the estate tax, which was obviously raised under Donald Trump in his tax bill, actually only targets 15,000 Americans total. 15,000 Americans. That's it. And yet, if you ask everyone around the country, they all think that they're going to get hit with an estate tax. 340 million people live on the U.S. soil. 15,000 people have enough money. They've generated enough money to actually be taxed with the estate tax. Okay? That's federal, isn't it, though, dude? Yeah. When my grandmother died last year, she got hit with an estate tax, but she was not in the richest 15K. No way. No, we're talking about the federal estate tax. I don't know what your I don't know how that works in individual states. But currently, it is if you have assets up to $12.9 million or more. Only estates of the wealthiest, 0.2% of Americans, roughly 2 out of 1,000 people who die, owe any estate tax. It depends on a state-by-state basis. You might have different estate tax rules in your state, which you might have had to pay. They are probably thinking of income tax for income paid to the estate or beneficiaries, different thing from an estate tax. My grandma died 3 weeks ago with about $3 million in assets for her 4 kids. I had to talk to each of them. I had to talk each one of them off a ledge about the demon rats coming after that money federally. We are a country of temporarily embarrassed billionaires. Yeah. Which, this is before we even get into my more unique opinions on this matter, which is that, like, brother, you already get many benefits when you are born into a wealthy family, okay? I think, like, we should motivate people to use all that money before they die and give all that money before they die. And the way you do that is through an estate tax, because you can't take it with you. You know what I mean? We're not fucking pharaohs, okay? You can't just like bury yourself with all that money. So I don't even necessarily have an issue with that. It's also an inherently right-wing perspective because Ben Shapiro always says, like, well, only 20% of people that come from wealthy, affluent backgrounds actually end up making more money than blah, 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 blah. And it's like, so many people are bankrupt after their parents die. And it's like, yeah, because when you're from a fucking rich family, you don't get money when your parents die. That's not how you make money. Okay? When you're from an affluent family, it's not the estate tax like in movies, or not the estate tax, sorry, the estate like in the movies that like allow you to get a shit ton of money, okay? That's not how that fucking works. That's never how that works. It's never inheritance that allows you to get a fucking significant leg up. It can happen, but that is far from the norm. That's federal, isn't it, though, dude? State is worse. Okay, never mind. I just checked my state. It's 2 milli. I bought the propaganda.
But the most
We're gonna watch the Vice. We're gonna watch Vice again to talk about
powerful place in
estate
all of
tax.
DC was a nondescript conference room at a relatively new think tank called Americans for Tax Reform. Grover Norquist ran the anti-tax group with huge funding from the Koch brothers network, Big Oil, and Big Tobacco.
Grover Norquist, by the way, is famously a Burning Man attendee. He goes every fucking year. Yeah. Look, the Bush tax code raised the estate tax exemption from $675,000 to $3.5 million single filer, and lowered the top rate from 60% to 45% from 2001 to 2009, and now it's up to 12.5 million since then. Both the last two Republican administrations worked to completely eradicate it.
But we've made strides, and marketing guru Frank Luntz is here to help.
It's so weird that this guy follows me and knows who I am. Like, this is a real person who has played like a major role in American politics as like the fucking focus group guy. And he's like technically a friend of the show.
Hello, all.
Yeah, that's how they figured out how to communicate this shit. By the way, this kind of stuff is very real. That's why Republicans don't say anti-abortion. That's why they say pro-life. Okay? They run these groups to the motherfucking ground, okay? Every single thing that you hear from both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party as well is oftentimes tested like this. Republicans are much better at branding their awful, nefarious, deadly ideas. Death panels is another one. Okay? Death panels was something that they talked about under the Obama administration when they were talking about triage, which already exists in both a private healthcare structure, but also a public one. Even though the ACA, which was also rebranded to Obamacare, which was another fucking purposeful marketing technique, okay, was lied about regularly. What is this? Oh yeah, here it is. It's Monday. It seems like Russia still has invaded Ukraine, as all the high-level intelligence suggested. Maybe this week. Hope not. Lots to talk about anyway. Any update on this, Hassan? He says. Okay. I said, look at my quote tweet of this, you hack. Friend of the show, Frank Lutz. This guy encouraged the use of climate change instead of global warming because he thought it sounded less threatening. Then scientists were like, that's more accurate anyway. We'll use it. And now Republicans are like, why are they always changing the name when it's their guy who changed it? Yeah, that's another fucking fun fact. The actor follows you or the guy he's playing? No, the guy he's playing. The fucking demon that actor is portraying is a real demon that is a old school Republican marketing guy who is a focus tester. And that guy is a reply guy of mine.
Tax. That's what I want. I don't want to get taxed just because I died. I mean, give me a break. Don't think it's right.
And see, dumbass libtards are also fucking pushing that agenda.
If I give something to my kid, I already paid the tax. Why gotta pay again because I died? It's like being chastised. I hate it.
The death tax has to go. The elite liberals in Washington would tax us for laughing or crying if they could.
So with one of the biggest media and political machines ever created behind him, Cheney was able to squash action on global warming, cut taxes for the super rich, and gut regulations for massive corporations.
Meth Damon. That's fucked up. Anyway. Isn't the View right wing? Technically, yes, from where I'm standing, absolutely. They are liberals, and I do believe that liberals are right wing. However, yeah, I was getting ready to say, isn't it also a fault of the mainstream liberal media for eating the bait and pushing the propaganda? Mainstream media is not just simply duped into going along with this narrative. Mainstream media, liberal media, is designed with the express purpose of repackaging that exact same talking point, but in a libtard way. That is what it is supposed to do. Media is also a fundamental part of the capitalist strategy of indoctrination. Every single facet of media that you experience will only offer you marginal differences from the actual Republican, Republican propaganda. Okay? Are you having allergies? What? Fuck. Due to an influx of misunderstanding, we want to set the record straight. Olivia Giuliana is not associated with Gen Z for Change. Her endorsement of Isaiah Martin, along with any decisions that she makes, are not representative of Gen Z for Change. Going into the 2023-2024 election cycle, we do not support candidates, regardless of age, that do not support Medicare for all, Green New Deal legislation, free 4-year public college, Palestinian liberation, amongst our other issues listed on the website. Gen Z for Change also showcases our current employees and past work, which includes StopCopCity.net, StopWillow, ChangesBrewing.org, LaborOverlikes.com, and Gen Z X El Cambio. Fuck yeah. TikTok by other Hasanabi head. TikTok by Hasanabi head Victoria Hammett on the matter.
Is alongside a entire cast and
crew. Oh shit, that's me. What the fuck?
Of Texas Gen Z for Change Democrats, Zoomers, who went from talking about a radical approach to politics to just straight up being like, I'm going to be the most rugged Democratic Party cutout. Gen Z for Change is good.
Wait, why is she saying...
Don't lump this freak with them. I mean, there are other Gen Z for Changers who are literally working on his campaign. I feel like...
All right, y'all, we need to talk about this. And first...
Oh, Olivia Giuliano is who I was talking about, but I corrected myself for the record. I got clipped out of context, but I mean, it's fair.
First and foremost, no tea, no shade to Hassan. I get that this is confusing. No one in Gen Z for Change is working on Isaiah Martin's campaign. We are not endorsing Isaiah Martin. We are still very much dedicated to that radical approach to politics. And when people choose to leave the organization for one reason or another, anything they do after they leave, we have no control over, no say in, and is no way.
The comments did not get that. It'd be dope if you did. We really love working with leftist orgs, activist creators. Everyone's adding
associated with us. If you want to know where we fall on different issues, go to the issue section of our website, genzforchange.org. Some of the work that we've done is also on that website. Our work is also all over our social media.
That Olivia Giuliana person was a former Gen Z for Changer, which is why I thought that they were still with Gen Z for Change, and I that was the reason why. But Sean is in here, Sean the Black, who corrected my mistake.
Media pages. Recently, our executive director was involved in the Stop Willow movement, where activists alongside her encouraged people to send over 1 million letters to the Biden administration trying to get him to stop Willow. We're heavily involved in different labor movements across the country, really trying to amplify their efforts on social media. Involved in Stop Cop City. Go to stopcopcity.net to learn more. That's just some of the work that we're doing. We haven't even made our 2024 endorsements yet. We've endorsed Barbara Lee. That is the one endorsement that we've made so far. But yeah, if you're curious who's calling the shots in the organization, go to the leadership page on our website. You can find that in the About section. You can go check out all those people's socials, because even the folks with like a smaller social media presence, fucking post bangers to their personal social media accounts, except for me. Don't look at my social media. Oh my God, do not let my tweets about Ed Sheeran be right.
What's the point of an endorsement? No, they're just like they're making sure that that these people are not running. Nah, they hating on Sean. Here, has Gen Z for Change really been working to push progressive politics? Here's one of their own. Gen Z for Biden. Leftist no labels. Gen Z for Change equals leftist no labels. Wait, what? Are they no labels literally? Let me link it. You know what? I'm going to fucking link it as well.
The prison industrial complex.
Not that one.
It's the same.
Oh, God. I hate that it just like automatically goes to my I might be wrong, but I thought that Sean said the org is becoming more left-wing after a certain member left. I thought the organization started off being left-wing because, I mean, obviously, Sean was a part of it. And then it kind of felt like some of the people, specifically the Olivia person I'm talking about, was using Gen Z for Change as an opportunity to like make a pivot. You know, they used a careerist person utilized this as an opportunity to basically fucking get a Democratic Party job, because to be fair, it was leftist, but Olivia was driving it liberal. I left after that, and then when she left, I came back. So here's the thing. Oh my God. She fucking snoring? What's happening right now? Guys being so cute. There are a lot of people like this. Sean McElwee is another great example of this as well. Where they're like, oh yeah, we want to abolish ICE, and then they fucking turn around and they become like weird neoliberal cutouts of the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party has this like massive machine and money, obviously, where what they end up doing is they just suck you into the party infrastructure. And so many people that like run on being ostensibly progressive will very quickly find a way to retriangulate, still keep that progressivism veneer, while they actually advocate for the same kinds of devastating neoliberal policies. Stacey Abrams is an example of this. Biden accomplishments guy trying to police other people's activism is hysterical. We're all accomplished activists in our own right with a laundry list of accolades to our names. Go back to getting nothing done and let us worry about the real work. I've never felt more right about calling out these little shits as a bunch of egomaniacal fake activist rat fuckers as I do right now. Olivia was the only member in that organization with a tangible accomplishment to her name. What about AOC? I would not say the same thing about AOC because AOC I judge on a different set of metrics. Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, on a different set of metrics, because they are in politics, beyond activism, beyond being like outside organizations. They are they're literally politicians in a bourgeois democracy. Okay? And off of those metrics, AOC, I think, still passes on many issues. In the same vein that I also defend Bernie Sanders. I don't think you can love Bernie Sanders and then hate AOC, because they are very similar in many respects. Do you have these same standards for local politicians? Hugo's been voting horribly since he got elected and just announced he doesn't support an expansion of the LA City Council. To a degree. I don't get why Stacey Abrams is included in this. No, Stacey Abrams is an example of someone who used the veneer of progressive politics to make a name for herself. And the angle that Stacey Abrams uses personally is one that you're seeing Isaiah Martin use as well, which is, we are going to make it easier to vote. We're going to make it easier to vote. It is the most innocuous, least offensive problem that you can be choosing to solve. Okay? And it's one without like any sort of material change associated with it. If you're just working to make voting easier, which you should, because it is a real problem, because the Democratic Party has kind of dropped the ball on that as well, and the Supreme Court and the Republican Party has actively undermined the ease of access to voting in this country, specifically for black and brown neighborhoods, specifically for poor people, working class individuals. Okay? But if that's your end all be all, where is your fucking policy? Where is what you're trying to do? Why is it only But Georgia has a big issue with voting in the black community, and Stacey Abrams never got elected, so who's really to say no? Wait, what do you mean? Brother, you have to understand that Stacey Abrams was such an underperformer in the state of Georgia that, like, on the same fucking ballot, people voted for a Republican governor while simultaneously voting for a black senator on the same ballot. Like, think about that. Like, just please think about that for a brief moment. Well, it wasn't on the same ballot. Sorry. It's a special election technically, right? But still. Well, the senator is a man. Yeah, dude, it's because they hate women. You got it. Even though the majority of the squad, if not pretty much all of the fucking squad, is technically women. Okay? It was more about her womanness than blackness. USA hate woman. You guys are crazy, man. You guys are crazy. No, you're looking for... You're looking for a way to make this work. It's not happening. Okay? You're reducing it to like womanness is silly. I swear to fucking God, the disrespect black women get in this chat. Wait, what? Nice bathroom. I can't tell if you're like what. I can't tell if you're fucking memeing or if you're being serious. You are not in here defending Stacey Abrams on virtues of her being a black woman. Now you're silly to act like misogyny isn't a factor. Maybe it's not the whole reason, but it's always a factor. Guys, be serious, please. Oh my fucking Lord. What are you talking about? Oh my God. What is happening here? I worked on Senator Warnock's campaign. You read a lot of voters who I convinced to vote for Warnock were already voting against Stacey Abrams. Anyway. Nah, it was the chatter. Reducing issues because they failed to see intersectionality. Anyway. No way you don't think it was misogyny? No, I don't think misogyny moves the needle as much as you're claiming it does. Misogyny absolutely works. In the same way that fucking racism works. Like, what are we talking about here? It's so stupid. Yes. As every black person knows, black women and black men both, that you have a higher barrier to clear, okay? If you're running for office in the United States of America, yes, you have a higher barrier to clear. You have a higher hurdle to overcome, okay? You have to fight with training weights on. And many still end up overcoming those. Stacey Abrams, on the other hand, is not a person who was able to, and it wasn't just because she is a black woman. Reducing that to her being a black woman is ridiculous. When I showed you a black man on the same fucking ballot where literal voters that voted against Stacey Abrams voted for Raphael Warnock. Anyway, radical liberal Raphael Warnock, as a matter of fact. But his radical liberalness partially worked. It played a significant role, but also he was already a known entity. Obviously, this is like a much more complicated thing to address. But so was Stacey fucking Abrams. You know what I mean? Stacey Abrams was also a known entity in Georgia, and yet she was not known for good reasons. Like the way that she was perceived by the broader voter population was not as positive. It could have been the $350 million that she got from Michael Bloomberg, where she stood next to Michael Bloomberg, as Michael Bloomberg said, I'm not a racist person, in spite of the many different times where I've said insanely racist shit. That could have played a role. I don't know, because that was like, at that point, it was the presidential campaign. Okay? Stacey ran ads on increasing police salaries. Worst ad game I've seen in ages. Anyway, as a lifelong Jordan, she's literally only working on that to be cool. It became a relevant issue after she lost the first time. Then she suddenly decided to champion that cause. Abrams didn't do shit when she was in the state house. Stacey Abrams sucked, and I only voted for her because Brian Kemp sucks harder. Okay, the other part of the problem is that I think Stacey Abrams has been very impactful. I suspect she has been very impactful on the new wave of Democratic Party losers that you are going to see. Okay? That's what I was trying to talk about. Hyper-focusing on allowing people to vote, like opening up voter access, is an issue that is certainly a major problem. Okay? And it's a real issue. But if you are specifically pushing on that as your only progressive policy, it's not one that is offensive to those who hold the levers of power. Okay? That's why they push for that, because they know it's not going to scare big donors. I'm not even going to get into how I think Stacey Abrams' actions in the state of Georgia are a little overstated, because demographic changes were happening outside of what Stacey Abrams was doing that certainly changed the election results in Georgia, specifically in suburban areas. Not necessarily just increasing the number of black people that voted, but also because genuine demographic shifts are happening. That with an increase in industry, you got different voting populations that are moving into the state of Georgia. Anyway, let's get back to Kevin McCarthy and impeaching the Biden crime family. You are so full of shit, it's getting ridiculous. Try Herschel Walker. Geez, you are as bad as Tucker Carlson. Comparing apples and piles of shit, you are getting worse than anything on Fox News. I'm getting worse than anything on Fox News because I'm criticizing Stacey Abrams for immediately running as a progressive and then turning to work for the Center for American Progress. Really? She went and got an executive role in CAP. If that to you does not signal that this person is not genuinely interested in progress, I don't know what to tell you. If you compare me to literally a person who does great replacement propaganda nightly on the most popular broadcast, you are so fucking delusional that we are not on the same we're not in the same fucking universe, okay? You are comparing me to someone. I know people are joking and saying, talk about green M&Ms, please, and how fuckable green M&Ms are. But Tucker Carlson is the absolute worst racial propagandist on the fucking, in the United States of America. The most successful white nationalist propagandist. Really? They think you were a Trump dick rider, actually. Wait, no way. Did this person actually take this seriously? What the fuck? Oh my God, it's the Queen is in their fucking thing. Give up. Bernie's not going to run, and why in the hell do you want Trump to be president again? Herschel Walker? What? You cannot deny they love your god Trump. Remember Charlottesville? Your boy Trump loves good people on both sides. Not one word. You are such a dick rider for Trump. Hassan is a Trump hypocrite. Wait, oh my God, this person unironically thinks I like Trump. Oh my God. Oh my God, are you okay, chatter? What the fuck? There ain't no fucking way. There ain't no fucking way this person literally thinks I'm a pro-Trump news commentator. My ex thinks the same too. No bull, she really does. What the fuck? He thinks you're a leftist Bernie bro hack that is standing in the way of democracy by supporting Bernie. But they all... That part is fine because it's true. I do hate democracy and I do love Bernie Sanders. And I do think that Bernie Sanders should destroy the bourgeois dictatorship and institute a dictatorship of the proletariat in the United States of America. And I am in support of these statements. But if you are to say that I am a Donald Trump supporter, that's like fucking delusional. No, this part is literally, unironically, completely removed from Bernie Sanders support. This isn't just like a, you love Bernie, that's why you want Trump, that's why, you know, you're allowing Trump to win. This person unironically thinks that I am a Trump supporter. Not surprising, you MAGAs are coming so hard over this. The MAGA crowd will love it. Mitch is an a-hole, but he keeps the reins over Trump, which you MAGAs hate. You are such a MAGA. You MAGAs hate McConnell and love the babbling idiot Trump. You are a MAGA idiot. Bro, it's not a joke. My wife honestly thinks you're a hypocrite. I constantly tell her that you're doing satire. Okay, here's what I don't understand. Why can't the fucking dumb baboons on the right think that I love Trump and like come in here with support instead of like trying to fucking constantly kill me? Why is it always like the liberal idiots that think I'm a Trump supporter? You know what I mean? Like, I wish that like the dumb right-wing Rethuglicans would actually fucking come in here and go, oh, this boy he's good. He loves our big, beautiful boy, Donald Trump, just like we do. God, rad libs are so fucking perpetually just physically incapable of comprehending satire, nuance, jokes, sarcasm. Fuck me. Holy shit. It's because libs made comedy illegal, they can't understand. You are heavy on the sarcasm, my guy. A lot of kids / gaslighted young adults struggle with deciphering your humor. Yeah, I don't think this is a kid or a young adult who's saying this. You're just British, I think. Oh. Okay. Let's watch. Let's finish this.
For the American public. Nothing more, nothing less. We will go wherever the evidence takes us. Thank you.
All right, Kevin McCarthy making the statement. He's endorsing an impeachment inquiry be launched into President Biden and obviously in light of the investigations into Hunter Biden, his son. This is a big moment, as John, you were just talking about, with Lauren Fox and David Chalian about what this now really kickstarts, which is a bit of an unclear process of where this exactly goes in this moment.
To be clear, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy
Yep, I've been waiting for someone to come in here and confront you on this. It's an easy mistake for people who can't read the nuance of your satire and sarcasm. Oh God, I'm sad, man. I don't know. That made me kind of sad. Please stop defending that chatter. I have been cutting left wing outside of the boundaries of the Democratic Party, like leftist agitative propaganda for almost 10 fucking years. Okay? The last 10 years of my life has been dedicated to political activism and trying to communicate in a better way leftist values. Okay? 10 fucking years. I've been doxxed, harassed endlessly over the course of those 10 years. My family has been harassed. Okay? For the crime of doing this specific thing. And there are still motherfuckers who are literally, and by the way, it is super consistent. Okay? Like incredibly fucking consistent. Like, that's why I show videos from like 2015, 2016, and I'm saying the exact same things back then as I am now. And there are still people who are just like, nope, you must be fucking a Trump supporter. Not to belittle your abilities, but your sarcasm and irony isn't bespoke, and I'm an A-word coded millennial accountant with MBAs in accounting and finance. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. Fuck. All right, let's just listen to what these guys are
Bilder's
saying.
point has said that he believed that a vote was necessary on the House floor to launch an impeachment inquiry. I did not hear him say there he's going to call for a vote to begin an impeachment inquiry in the House of Representatives. He said he was directing the inquiry to begin. We're going to get some more details on it if we heard that right there. But again, this kicks off, presumably, a process here that will be very political. That up until now, we have not been presented with any evidence directly that President Biden himself did.
This part is literally true, by the way. The libs over at fucking Clinton News Network are actually correct.
Anything wrong here? But
that's the key part about this.
Yes.
The investigations have been going on through a couple of committees. I think he mentioned that Judiciary and Ways and Means will be part of this. But what has been, even despite what the speaker said right there, there has been no direct evidence that Joe Biden himself has personally profited off of his son Hunter Biden's foreign work. That is what is the direct evidence of that connection. There is a question that kind of there's a big gap here for them to present in this inquiry.
There is a big gap in evidence, and you heard him lay out Biden talking about, accusing him of lying to the American people. That's a very different thing than having evidence that there was something of malfeasance going on between him, Hunter, and Hunter's business partners. Let us go now to Manu Raju, who is always there, on time, ready to go. Manu, what was your takeaway from what you heard at this point?
Yeah, one big thing is that he did not say that there'd actually be a vote to open up an impeachment inquiry. Remember, it's on September 1st, that's when Kevin McCarthy told Breitbart News, the conservative news outlet, that there would actually be a vote on the House floor to open up a formal impeachment inquiry. He did not say that just now. In fact, he said that he was directing that key House committee, the House Oversight Committee, to open up an impeachment inquiry. Now, one big reason why perhaps the Speaker is not moving in the direction of having a vote, he does not have enough support, a majority of the House, to open up an impeachment inquiry at the moment. That's because there are a number of Republicans, including ones in swing districts, and some conservatives like Ken Buck of Colorado, who are skeptical about moving forward with an impeachment inquiry. That means that there were actually a vote to formally open up this probe going forward. At the moment, he would not have 218 votes, since Democrats would vote against it, and more than 4 Republicans would vote against it as well. So he is now telling the House Oversight Committee to move forward. And one big reason why there is not the support at the moment is because of the fact that they have yet to come up with definitive proof or evidence to suggest that Joe Biden took official action as vice president to aid his son Hunter Biden, or that Joe Biden profited in any way by Hunter Biden's business dealings and this allegations of a pay-to-play scheme. They have simply not proven yet, which is why there is a number of members who are skeptical, not just in the House, but also Senate Republicans as well. So McCarthy here, though, still taking a very significant step by opening up an impeachment probe. Remember, if Joe Biden is in fact impeached, he would just be the 4th president in American history to be charged with high crimes or misdemeanors. Donald Trump, of course, was impeached twice over 2 separate issues, but that is still a ways away. Now we are going into the part of the impeachment investigation where they have to actually continue to gather evidence, try to build the case against Joe Biden, and try to charge him with high crimes or misdemeanors, and then try to get the votes in the House to do that. That is still a very, very heavy lift for Kevin McCarthy. But this action today, in some ways, being pushed by the far right of his conference, which has been very vocal at this moment for the Speaker to move ahead on this issue. The Speaker aligning himself with that faction in his conference to move ahead with this impeachment inquiry. Now the question is, what evidence will they gather? Will they actually have a vote either to formalize this inquiry at some point or to actually impeach the president? All major, major questions facing the Speaker at this moment as he announces this historic move.
All right, Manu Raju, stand by for us, obviously, because we are getting more information as this all develops. I want to bring in CNN political director David Chalian again. The House Speaker says he is directing the beginning of an official impeachment inquiry.
Yeah, they're beginning to start thinking about the impeachment. So what are our Republicans saying when asked the question, what kind of evidence do you have to impeach Joe Biden? Like, this seems sick. Like, we love it. We're the media. Okay. We love the media. Don't we love it, folks? Right? So what kind of evidence do the Republicans have? Okay. So here is Representative Scott Perry, Republican from Pennsylvania and a Freedom Caucus chair, addressing some of these concerns from the lying fake news media.
Would do that. I don't think it'd be appropriate. All right, last question. Yes, ma'am.
Can I just ask, what actual evidence do you have as opposed to allegations?
British, immediately discarded, opinion discarded.
To show to the American public that would merit an actual impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden and prove that today isn't just about some of you.
Oh, I don't know.
McCarthy for the sake of enacting political revenge.
This isn't about political revenge. We have the bank accounts. We can see, ma'am, you can see that the homes that the Bidens own can't be afforded on a congressional or Senate salary. You also understand that it's not normal for family members to receive millions of dollars from overseas interests. Those things aren't normal. That's not normal to have 20 shell companies. These things are not normal, and it alludes to not only just...
Yeah, but like, that's not Joe Biden. That's Hunter Biden. Like, I don't get it. Like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm all in for this. Let's go after every single elected representative living over their salary. I mean, first of all, I do agree with that. We should do that. I think that they should universalize this principle. They should just turn around and you know, pull a Apple USB-C charger thing and just decide that, like, any congressperson that's like living in a fucking nice house, I think they should arrest them. I agree. I'm not even saying this in a sarcastic manner. I 100% agree that they should do that. Except they're like, oh, wow, they're doing this for the Biden family. And then you're like, okay, what do you mean by the Biden family? And the answer is, oh, they mean Hunter Biden.
Widespread corruption, but money laundering, if not influence peddling itself. And we also have the president, the vice president at the time, on record saying that the prosecutor was fired. Well, son of a bitch, the prosecutor was fired, right? Because the prosecutor was going after the company that his son was working on.
No, he was doing the opposite. Like, this part of the process is really stupid. Like, and this is not new information. I talked about this literally back when the perfect phone call with Ukraine was the reason why Trump was getting impeached. He's like, dude, the prosecutor was investigating Burisma. That's why they wanted to fire him. So does that mean that, like, the entirety of the international community, the American State Department, the CIA, everyone that was interested in, everyone that was interested in Ukraine in some way, civil society organizations, the IMF, the World Bank, they all were manipulated by Hunter Biden into wanting the American government to apply pressure to Ukraine to fire this prosecutor who was not prosecuting, but instead holding up the prosecution of Burisma. Like, it is the exact opposite of what they are claiming.
That's what we have. If you can't see...
That's like if someone says, oh, that's just Nancy Pelosi's husband who trades, not Nancy herself. Did you just liken information trading happening between a seated representative and her husband, a thing that every congressperson does, which should be illegal, which unfortunately also is not illegal for the record, okay, to Hunter Biden claiming that he has inside access to Burisma and then getting a fat fucking salary from this corrupt Ukrainian energy company, okay, and then having his dad be pressured by every civil society organization, the IMF, the World Bank, into firing the prosecutor that was holding up investigations into Burisma. The prosecutor was literally doing the exact opposite thing that they are suggesting. Insider trading is actually illegal? Yeah, okay. Explain that to Congress. What the fuck?
See that. If you are that blunt, look, I'll turn it over to the attorneys.
People can't see that. They think it's political revenge.
It's because you don't report on it.
You're not, We're reporting on it today.
I'm not sure how you know what the American people think, but here's what they might wonder. Actually, if you're a federal prosecutor, you would be
he would do that. I don't think it'd be a
I don't understand. Like, I'm still kind of shocked by what that chatter said. The chatter, it was like, this is exactly like when, Paul Pelosi trades on information that he's getting from Nancy Pelosi. Brother, Paul Pelosi is not making bad trades, okay? Do you understand? Like, it would be as if, it would be like if Nancy Pelosi was learning information in closed-door closed-door meetings in the House of Representatives, and then feeding the exact opposite information to Paul Pelosi so that Paul Pelosi would make the wrong trade. Okay? Because if Hunter Biden had any influence over Joe Biden's decisions when Joe Brandon was vice president, okay, then Joe Brandon would not have moved to fire the Ukrainian prosecutor. Because the Ukrainian prosecutor at the time was holding up a UK investigation into Burisma. Do you get it? Do you understand what I am saying? Okay, fair, I get it now. Oh, well, that's awesome. Someone who wrote something in the chat actually understood what I was trying to say. That's fire. Holy shit. That's like getting gifted right at fucking 2 p.m. so you don't have to see the top of the hour ad break. A miracle. But if miracles don't happen for you, you have to subscribe for $5 or for free, because at the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, like I said, you can get gifted a sub if you are lucky, or subscribe for $5 or for free. Here's the 3-minute ad break. Now, I love California. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
Inquiry, and that would be a change from saying he wants a vote on an impeachment inquiry, David. What are the politics of this for both President Biden, obviously, for whom there will now be an impeachment inquiry into him, which obviously that's profound implications there, but also Kevin McCarthy, because clearly both are at play at this moment.
No doubt about that, John. I mean, the White House has been girding for this, as you know. They have staffed up around this notion. It had been telegraphed for quite some time that McCarthy was moving in this direction. So they are prepared for what are uncertain politics, right? I mean, as we saw with Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, when they were actually impeached and we watched that process move forward, at times it helped them politically. They were able to rally support to their side when they were the focus of
Army 77, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
A House impeachment process. Again, we have no idea if it will actually get to that. And to Manu's point about the immediate politics for McCarthy, the reason you heard him say that he was directing a committee to launch an inquiry and not here's a vote that is scheduled now to go to the floor is because immediately he doesn't have that political support. So he's going to have to deal with that own sort of very fast approaching internal House Republican conference politics for him, which is that he doesn't have a unanimity of support for this effort, clearly, or he wouldn't be going this route. But then there's going to be the politics of how do you move through this in a way that doesn't necessarily blow up in your face, given, as you all have said, we have not seen any evidence, hard evidence, directly connecting wrongdoing on the part of then Vice President Biden, now President Biden, and Hunter Biden's business dealings or the ongoing Hunter Biden investigation. Now, I want to add one thing, though. What Kevin McCarthy does have in this moment on his side is...
I just want to point out something. And you know, I want people to understand where I'm coming from here. I want this to continue because it's really funny. I know it's stupid, and I don't think this will actually have tangible harm. If anything, I suspect that this might genuinely move the conversation away from Joe Brandon's worst qualities, which is how old he is, and the conversation is going to move away from that. But it's cool. I want to see what they cook up with this. Like, exactly what a Trump supporter would say. Yes, it's because I Hasan, olarak iPhone 15 mi inceleyeceksiniz? Ne?
Is public opinion. I mean, we just released a poll last week, and we saw that despite that lack of evidence having been presented, a majority of Americans believe something afoot here. I mean, 55% in our poll said they think President Biden has...
All right, joining me now is...
DeSantis tortures Biden's Hanoi trip, says Harris is impeachment insurance. Hassan, I just want to quickly remind you that I have abnormal sexual urges. Thank you. Wait, what happened with that person who said I was a Trump supporter and similar to Tucker Carlson? Did they ever respond? Did they hear what I was saying? Mods banned them? Wait, what? Really? Why? Don't ban them. What the fuck? Oh, he was trolling? Wait. Why did you ban him? To be fair, is their second offense? Nah, you don't have to ban people like that. It's okay. Can you stop appearing in my girlfriend's dream, bro? I beg you. No, I can't.
Is Governor Ron DeSantis, 2024 GOP.
Oh, let's hear from, before we move on from this, because this proceeding is still happening in this. There's a lot of fun little Senate proceedings occurring currently. But before we move away from this, I want to see what John Fetterman has to say about Speaker McCarthy moving forward with the House impeachment inquiry into POTUS.
Ask you about this news that Speaker McCarthy has formally launched an impeachment or has said he's going to.
Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh, you know, it's devastating. Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh no, oh no.
We gotta run back to the office, but
I love that he's just like walking around, this fucking hulking man, and he's walking around in like the absolute nuttiest fit. The absolute nuttiest fucking fit. I love it. I'm on board. I like the John Fetterman stash too. Remember when Republicans were unironically saying that his head was he had a head transplant or something? God, people are so crazy. The guy who claims to have sucked Obama's dick is posting some of the wettest food I've ever seen. Perfecting my new jalapeno smoked sausage cheese hamburger, and other than needing to dice ingredients a little finer, I do believe I got it. Great flavor, just needs the right spice. Perfeccionado mi nuevo jalapeno salsita ahumada hamburguesa con queso y aparte de necesitar cortar los ingredientes en cubitos, cree que lo tengo. Gran sabor justa la especia adusuada. Little break from the situation. Oh, there was also this. Everyone taking cheap shots at evil geniuses as if they won a Valorant World Championship and don't want to pay the guys. Have you ever thought that maybe EG can't make any financial sense to pay them given their current economics in esports? If there's no orgs in 10 years, then zero players are getting paid, which is inherently a classic right-wing. Not that Jake Sucky is right-wing, but this is like very anti-labor, anti-worker. That's a classic fucking trope against unions as well. People always say, oh, well, unions want too much money. If there's no fucking business, if the business falls under, then that means, nobody will have a job, let alone the unions, right? And Jake Sucky also follows up by saying, I get it, EG has done a lot wrong in the space, but few esports players deserve to be making $300, $500K in this market. Players should get their money, yes, but the system won't be around long if we can't admit that it's going to come back down to reality. Now, if EG is leveraging their contract saying the players got to take a pay cut or another org will make a massive buyout for them, yeah, that's bad. Still think salaries need to come down, though. Ludwig says, I think it's okay to chastise businesses who make bad financial decisions. To which Josh responds, we should start chastising you, Toast and Charlie, for making bad decisions, getting into esports now or later. Usually in business, the people put at risk are the employees, not the business owners. So if I hurt any employees, contracted or otherwise, because of my bad business decisions, please chastise me, which is, of course, the pro-labor position here. This is unique from MAGA Mail, the internet's favorite right-wing commentator, MAGA Mail, with a very rare pro-labor W. It goes against the entire spirit of the whole being a mogul thing, but he is correct. He's right. This is something I say all the time. Usually in business, the people put at risk are the employees, not the business owners. Ludwig, you are MAGA and you are male. That's such a dumb fucking, oh my God. That is, you have to have 7 degrees of brain rot to understand the reference that this was. Another day of remembering. We will never forget. We will never forgive, and we will never forget what Cowboy Bebop did. The Cowboy Bebop. Netflix did the Cowboy Bebop. X100 Thieves GM mentioned this about it. We're going through an economic hard times that are comparable to the crash of 2008 that killed esports completely until Twitch was founded in 2011. For all our problems in esports, I'm grateful we've grown enough that this time we can build through it, as painful as it is. Anyway, I don't think Jake Sucky is a right-winger, for the record. I don't think he is at all. But Americans across the board have been... No, I don't think he's a right-winger. I think he's a liberal. I think he is a liberal, which is like basically being a commie in the gaming space. But capitalist dogma goes beyond liberalism and republicanism or conservatism. It's just also like capitalist dogma is inherently right-wing and is inherently anti-labor. So, that's what he's doing. He's just operating on those boundaries, operating on what he has learned his entire life. Okay. Here is how the Republicans are handling the Kevin McCarthy situation. Here's how Republicans are handling the Kevin McCarthy situation. The Never Kevers are fucking back.
On this very floor in January, the whole world witnessed a historic contest for House Speaker. I rise today to serve notice. Mr. Speaker, you are out of compliance with the agreement that allowed you to assume this role. The path forward for the House of Representatives is to either bring you into immediate total compliance or remove you pursuant to a motion to vacate the chair.
Yes, let's go. Do it, baby. Do it. Fucking do it, pussy. Never Kevers are back. Hold on, I gotta take a photo of Kaya being so intensely cute and post it on my Instagram. Oh, it's fun when they attack the speaker because they can do it in second person.
We have had no vote on term limits or on balanced budgets as the agreement demanded and required. There's been no full release of the January 6 tapes as you promised. There has been insufficient accountability for the Biden crime family. And instead of cutting spending to raise the debt limit, you relied on budgetary gimmicks and rescissions so that you ultimately ended up serving as the valet to underwrite Biden's debt and advance his spending agenda. Mr. Speaker, you boasted in January that we would use the power of the subpoena and the power of the purse. But here we are, 8 months later, and we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden. That's how you know that the rushed and somewhat rattled performance you just saw from the Speaker isn't real. At this point, during Democrat control over the House of Representatives, they had already brought in Don Jr. 3 times. And we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden. Power of the subpoena and power of the purse. Only thing the 118th Congress is known for at this point is electing Kevin McCarthy Speaker and underwriting Biden's debt. And unfortunately, there's only one of those things we can remediate at this time. Power of the purse.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. I love the chaos unfolding. Congress is back. And what that means is they're going to be nutty. They're going to get nutty with it. They're going to get unhinged with it. Here is my favorite senator from my favorite state, Louisiana, Senator John Kennedy, who once famously said, "Oh, you want to fucking defund the police? Next time there's a crime happening, call a crackhead." That's literally a ad that he cut out. One of the best certified banger classics from the Republican side. Let's take a look at what he's talking about. J.D. Vance covered important issues earlier in the Senate today as well. He wants to... J.D. Vance wants to push for a ban on mask mandates. So that's pretty cool. And here is how Senator John Kennedy is spending his time today. Okay, let's take a look.
All boys aren't blue. And I will quote from it. I put some lube on and got him on his knees. And I began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. This
is fucking awesome. So here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Now that I heard him read this out loud, I think that just fiction or nonfiction memoirs in general should all be banned. I think the person who wrote this, by the way, is literally, this is a Hasanabi head, George M. Johnson. And this is his, like, memoir that he's reading, as though this is, like, some kind of pornographic material. This is a memoir from George M. Johnson. This can't be real. Stop. Oh, no, this is very real. Let's keep watching.
This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me. It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life. Eventually, I felt a mix of pleasure with the pain. Close quote. All boys aren't blue. All boys aren't blue.
There's more.
It's called genderqueer. Okay? Let me read an excerpt from that. Quote, I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my...
Okay, by the way, people who are saying like, oh, I can never listen to your stream at work without headphones. Brother, Senator John Kennedy is currently at work. Okay? This is him at work. This is on C-SPAN. Okay? This is on C-SPAN.
My favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot.
I'm sorry. Coming out of that pause was so perfect.
Perfectly. You're going to look on you. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot. I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me.
Oh, God. This is so fire. Oh, God. This is so fire. Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
The words you spoke are disturbing, especially coming out of your mouth is very disturbing. But I would Senator.
I put some lube on and got him on his knees. And I began to slide into him from behind. A new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you.
Oh. Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good. It's so good. More of this, please. Never stop. It's so fire. Oh. Is this just the evening reading, or what's the context of this? So the context of this is that George M. Johnson, who is a journalist and uses they, them pronouns, wrote a tell-all memoir about growing up black and queer. They are queer, they're black, and always feeling different, but not having the words to express it. That's the NPR line about it. Over the past couple of years, at least 29 districts have banned the book because of its LGBTQ content and for being sexually explicit. Okay? Anytime you write a book about where you write about your truth, there are going to be people who want to silence that truth. Johnson, who uses they, them pronouns, tells Morning Edition's Layla Fadl. Okay? According to PEN America, a group that advocates for freedom of expression, says more than 1,600 books about gender and race were banned in more than 130 districts between 2021 and 2022 in what it calls a growing movement to censor books in schools. Taken together, the bans impacted some 4 million students at more than 5,000 schools. Now, I have been a long time I guess, truther about the reality that Republicans have always complained about, like, censorship is coming from the libtard left, while they simultaneously have never stopped being the number one cause of banning books and banning materials that they declare pornographic. So that in and of itself is something that never changed. Even at the peak of, like, Gamergate, where SJWs want to censor us was like a very common Republican talking point. They were still, at the time, the number one banner of books in general. That much has always been consistent, all the way from Nazis participating in book burnings, which also, the first ever book burning was literally trans medical research in Germany, for those of you who don't know. Okay? The second clip was about a different book that is only in high schools. Dim Tool tried to use it against Emma when she went on his show. Now, not only have Republicans successfully banned a shit ton of books, and Republican-backed interest groups like psychotic Christian right-wing groups have banned books all the time. They also are doing something a little different on the side. They're also working on indoctrinating children with ahistorical, ridiculous, nonsensical pieces of, I don't even want to call it information, in the form of Prager University videos. Okay? Which we will be taking a look at. Prager University kids videos are now being shown in the state of Florida, officially, and also the state of Oklahoma. Okay? So they are the ones who are quite literally trying to indoctrinate children with ahistorical facts. Why would you have to put a strap on a dude? I'm confused. Wait, what? Hassan, any thoughts on why a dude would need a strap on? Talking about gay men, I think. I have no idea, but it could be a trans man. They could be a trans man, for example. You know what I mean? That's a thing that could be. Why are you freaking out about this? Anyway, Jesse Waters is back on the 5. Yeah. Love that. Dems melt down over impeachment inquiry, which is so funny because I don't think Dems are quote unquote melting down about this at all. But, you know, it's fun. It's just like Democrats are also doing COVID shutdowns, actually. That's what they're doing. Okay? So, ultimately, what do I think? Do I think this book indoctrinates people? Do I think this book is too pornographic? Do I think that, like, it should be banned? Absolutely not. Okay? I will stand on that. I think it's fucking ridiculous. Not for children. Yeah, except children aren't fucking reading books like this. Children aren't even reading books. Okay? It's literally a fucking memoir about growing up black and queer. That's it. It straight up says it on the fucking the cover of the book. A memoir manifesto by George M. Johnson. All boys aren't blue. Okay? If this, so you think kids should be reading this shit in school? I don't have an issue with kids reading things that feature sexual content in them. You literally have done that when you were growing up, you fucking idiot. And I'm not even talking about like fucking this book, okay? There are graphic and brutal depictions of rape in books that you read in like 8th grade, okay? Are you the guy who wrote the book? No? Then shut the fuck up. Why not talk about the struggles of it instead of detail shit? Like, why? Are you the ghostwriter? Are you the ghostwriter of the fucking book? Shut the fuck up. The Bible has pornographic contents in it, okay? There's murder. Fuck. We are so fucking stupid as a country. It's not like anybody fucking reads anything anyway, okay? This book is not in the curriculum as well. It's just available in the library if you choose to seek it out on your own. Never watch your shit stream. I don't know why I'm following you. Get unfollowed. Okay, well, I'll ban you ahead of time. We can rush that process for you. You don't have to read it. It makes no fucking sense. I had to read about slave torture, rape, sex trafficking, and the Holocaust in schools. I think I can handle reading the word cock and gay sex. Like, what are we doing? What are we fucking doing? What are we doing that we're just like, we can't have these books, they're dangerous? Like, I don't give a shit whether this book gets banned or not, for the record, okay? Like, I don't think this moves the needle in one direction or the other. The implications of trying to ban books that have any kind of queerness baked into them, even if it's a fucking memoir, that could be helpful for some queer teenagers, okay? Especially black queer teenagers, is far more damning than the actual banning of the book in and of itself, okay? It is being done deliberately. It plays a role in the never-ending conquest of trying to erode the depiction of anything that is outside of what white Christian dudes have decided is the norm, okay? Anything outside of a man and a woman, you can't have, okay? White man, white woman, that's it. I've given this example so many fucking times over where I've talked about how silly it is. The don't say gay policy in Florida, okay? Homophobes regularly fucking claim like, oh, when you see a gay man with another gay man, all of a sudden you're teaching children about gay sex, okay? But you don't ever consider that in the same way if your teacher is fucking heterosexual. Like, in the state of Florida, you can't have a photo of your husband if you're a gay teacher. You can't have your photo of a husband in school because that's like considered to be outside of the boundaries of what is allowed. Okay? But if you have a photo of your husband and you're a woman, well, that's allowed. That's normal, you know? Because nobody ever thinks straight sex when they see a pregnant teacher. Okay? That's what's really frustrating about this. You do not look at a pregnant teacher and go, well, that teacher fucked. That's not allowed. We shouldn't have a pregnant teacher around children because all the children will think that they've had sexual intercourse. That part that Senator Kennedy read is not intended to be pornographic. It is a memoir of a queer person. Okay? That's it. You're at fault if you read that and you go, I'm so horned up right now. I, Senator Kennedy, am so rock hard, and I do not believe that our children should be rock hard as well. The only time children should be hard is when they're inside the boundaries of a Catholic church, around the pastor, or myself, Senator John Kennedy. Okay? Anytime I see another person, I remember that people are created from sexual intercourse, and then I immediately have to masturbate. I can never look at another person again. When I was in high school, some of the teachers' kids were in school with me. How dare they shove sex in my face like that? Ban children from schools, honestly. Children only exist due to sex, and that's gross. 50 Shades of Grey is just as available in bookstores as the memoir, and I'm sure there's many more books with just as graphic depictions of sexual content, yet the memoir is what these people are kicking their shit for. No, they want to ban 50 Shades of Grey as well in some respects, in some schools. That's the point. You guys don't understand. These guys don't give a fuck. They're fucking freaks. They're puritanical. And that's something that I also want to point to, which is that they want to ban it all. They want to ban it all. Okay? Which also, that's idiotic. It's idiotic to ban that as well. It's so stupid. Check out 2 Kings 23:24 for a funny Bible freak passage. Let's see. Is that the donkey dick one? Oh, no, that's the baldy one. No, dude. Yeah, that's my favorite. I can't believe I didn't even recognize my favorite passage. From there, Elijah went up to Bethel. As he was walking along the road, some boys came out of the town and jeered at him. Get out of here, Baldy. Get out of here, they said. Get out of here, Baldy. He turned around, looked at them, and called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. Yeah, the Bible is pro-bald. They lived as they died, defiant in the face of God. Those kids were running 42 deep. That's like an entire village. Yeah. Anyway, there's like a lot of freak shit in the Bible as well, and every other thing that you fucking read, okay? Like, I don't think that like an 8-year-old is gonna be like, oh, my favorite book, All Boys Aren't Blue. I can't wait to fucking read that, okay? It's so stupid. It's so incredibly fucking dumb to make this argument. But if you're in fucking high school and you're like, oh, I heard about this book that's about like being queer, okay? And you're like a black questioning queer teenager or whatever, and you read this book, like it's probably going to be helpful. It's not like pornographic. Someone said full raid wipe. That's right. My school in North Texas started banning books with anything to do with anything gay or trans, as well as not allowing books by people such as James Baldwin and Maya Angelou. And our librarian was threatened with being fired for months because he put up signs in the library protesting the school board's decision. Yeah. God said, get yourself a hoe. When the Lord began to speak through Hosea, the Lord said to him, go, marry a promiscuous woman and have children with her. For
damn, this guy's good.